If you're a seasoned fitness enthusiast and you're looking for a new innovative training program, the next 30 minutes are what you've been looking for. The video contains the latest in speed, agility, and performance training. By using techniques such as plyometric, isometric, and ballistic training, this workout will take your fitness to the next level.
If you're looking for a new, hard, intense fitness video, your workouts are stale, become stagnant, and you're failing to make any progress with your present workout, this is the workout for you. This is a hard driving, super intense, high cardio, high fitness level type program. It's going to knock you into the best shape of your life. We're going to start out with my partner Paul Artelles doing a box step with the ball above the head. We're going to go for 3 minutes, starting now. Put your right foot on the ball, right foot on the box, and we're just going to switch feet. Go ahead and get started. Really concentrate on the abdominal wall. Keep the abdominal wall nice and tight. Abs in, contracting and protecting that spine and the vertebrae. Really focus on pushing off of the box with your heels. We want no toes on the box whatsoever. Focus on your breathing, nice deep breathing. Keeping that abdominal wall nice and tight. This isn't a fast pace. Go at your own pace. We don't want to be fast. We're really concentrating on pushing off of the foot that's on the box. And breathe. Breathe. Keeping the ball above the head is going to increase your heart rate by some 15 to 20%, which isn't allowing us to really speed up the box step at all. Concentrate again on that abdominal wall, keeping it nice and tight, protecting the spine. We're going to start out with increments of a minute, progressively working up to 3 minutes as your fitness level goes up. Again, really focus on the breathing. Nice, deep, consistent breathing. We don't want your heart rate to shoot up too fast. This is just a basic warm-up to get you started. We want those muscles nice and loose when we get into some of the more intense exercises. Coming up at about 90 seconds right now. We're going to go halfway there. Now this is the time in your program where your technique tends to get sloppy. As we start to get fatigued and that heart rate goes up, it's really important for us to really focus on protecting that spine by engaging that abdominal wall. So you should really start to feel a burn in the quadriceps, glutes, hamstrings, sometimes even the calves. But you're really feeling it in the shoulders as well. It's a full body exercise. There's not a place where you're not going to feel this. We have about 30 seconds left. We're bringing this to a close. Again, focus on those heels. Stay off of your toes. As we put pressure on the toes, puts a lot of pressure on the joints themselves. So you want to really focus on pushing with the heel. 10, almost there. 4, 3, 2, 1, good. From here, we're going to progress into a full upper body movement. What we want to do is get into the push-up position, making sure that the hands are directly underneath the shoulders. Engage the abdominal wall so the abdominal wall is nice and tight. Take it down into a push-up, about 3/4 of the way down. We're going to come up. Pretend we're giving a high five. High five. Engage that abdominal wall, working all the stability muscles in the serratus, obliques, and intercostals. We're going to do this for a minute to 2 minutes, starting now. Engage that abdominal wall. Up, high five. Up, high five. Keeping the hips nice and high, abdominal wall tucked in nice and tight. Engaging the hamstrings, keeping all of the pressure off of the lower back. And breathe. 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 As we start to get fatigued, if we're a beginner, you can shorten this range of motion up so you're only going halfway down instead of your full range of motion. Again, this is working all of the core stabilizing muscle groups in the entire body, all through the abdominal wall and the lower back. But you're also working a lot of chest, shoulders as well. We're almost there, 30 seconds. Breathe, engage that abdominal wall. Breathe, engage that abdominal wall. We're going to take these last 15 seconds into a short range of motion so the beginner knows exactly what to do. Halfway up, high five. Halfway up, high five. Halfway up, high five. This final 10 seconds is for the very beginner, from just a push-up position to high five, not even doing the push-up. High five, engage that abdominal wall, really feeling that in the serratus, intercostals, obliques, nice and tight. 5, 4, 3, 2, time. The transition from a strength movement to a cardiovascular movement is really important to keep your heart rate up while you're doing this type of a program. The heart rate, in conjunction with the muscle stabilizing groups that we're working and a lot of the bigger muscle groups, is really going to burn that body fat out. Our next program, our next exercise is called a mountain climber. Again, from the push-up position, we're going to start with your right knee forward. And as that right knee is forward, we're just going to switch. Again, engaging that abdominal wall, staying nice and tight, and make sure that we breathe. Nice, deep breathing from your nose into your mouth. And Paul's going to get started. Again, from this position, abdominal wall nice and tight, keeping the abs super tight, lower back up, rotating those hips out, and start. As you're doing this movement, really focus on the range of motion, bringing that knee up as far towards your chest as you possibly can. Now, the speed is irrelevant. As you progress with your fitness level, you're going to be able to increase the speed to this pace. You can obviously go at your own pace. Even if you're going at a 2, 3, 4 count, it's perfect movement for anybody who's really looking to engage the abdominal wall and work on that midsection, glute, hamstrings. So great movement. And breathe. Nice deep breathing in through your nose, out through your mouth. Halfway home, this is where it's really important to engage those stabilizing muscle groups. As we start to get fatigued, that's where your risk of injury goes up. 15 seconds. We're slowing it down now so a pace so people can see we're just getting started. And 1, 2, 1, 2. Slow it down to even a little slower to a 5 pace. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 5, 4, 3, 2, and time. At this point, your heart rate should really be going, should have a good sweat worked up. Heart rate should be about 140 to 150. For those of you who are just getting started, you want to focus on keeping that heart rate between 125 and 130. For the more advanced, such as Paul here, 150 to 165 is perfectly acceptable. Now we're going to go into a lower body strength movement. Again, working on the abdominal wall, obliques, serratus, intercostals. This is called a inner thigh plank. What we're going to do here is going to start from a side position, engaging the abdominal wall, keeping both legs perfectly straight. We're going to pop up into an inner thigh plank, switching legs, bringing the right knee towards your chest. We're going to hold this for anywhere between 30 seconds to 1 minute. And as you go down, take yourself all the way to the ground, and we're going to switch sides. We're going to get again into proper position. Keeping the elbow directly underneath the shoulder is very important. Pop up into the plank position, switch feet, and we're going to bring that knee up for 30 seconds. Engage that abdominal wall, concentrate on your breathing. Believe me, this looks like it's easier than it is. Should really start to feel it right now. 15 seconds. You might feel a little shake and a little tremble in those muscle groups because we're calling on muscles that aren't getting utilized on a regular basis. That's the whole concept behind this core program, is engaging those muscle groups. 3, 2, 1, time. Let's switch sides. Again, before we get started, we want to make sure that that elbow is directly underneath the shoulder and the hips are perfectly square, so you're in perfect alignment. Alignment is vital in this type of a movement. 3, 2, 1, and up. Nice deep breathing. Engage that abdominal wall. Try and relax as best as we can and breathe. Now the variation with the arm is going to increase the intensity. If we need to decrease the intensity, we put the hand on the floor. 5, 4, 3, 2, time. Perfect. Now we've gone from a strength movement back to a cardiovascular movement. We're going to increase the heart rate and then we're going to do a strength movement directly after a super hard, super intense, higher level type of cardiovascular program. So now we're going back to that cardiovascular exercise. We're going to do what's called the jumping lunge. We're going to get into the lunge position. Really focus on the front leg. The front leg is absolutely vital in any type of lunge. We want to keep the knee directly above the ankle. Anytime that knee drifts above the ankle over the toe, puts a lot of pressure on the joints in the knee itself. So we want to take all the pressure off of the joint and transfer it to the glutes, hamstrings, quadriceps. Focus again on the abdominal wall, keeping the abdominal wall nice and tight, rotating the pelvic out, shoulders back, chest up into a perfect posture is absolutely important. We're going to take it from here. We're going to switch legs. Again, take a look at the knee directly above the ankle. We don't want to be here. Zero pressure on the toes. Hands up so the hands are above the heart. Switch. Switch. Constantly keeping the abdominal wall engaged. And we're going to start with this movement. We're going to go anywhere between 30 seconds to 3 minutes. Our demonstration is going to be for 2 minutes. Again, focus on the knee, and here we go. And start. Breathe. Breathe. This one isn't a fast pace either. Really concentrate on that form. Keeping the knee directly above the heel. Zero pressure on the toes. Abdominal wall nice and tight. Hands up, elbows above the heart. Just by increasing the hands above the heart, bringing the elbows up above the shoulder, it's going to make the heart work that much harder, increasing the intensity by an extra 15-20% without increasing the speed, which is keeping the risk of injury as low as we possibly can while increasing the heart rate into the fat burning zone. Good. Focusing on that abdominal wall, staying nice and tight. Again, this is the point about halfway through where our technique tends to fail us. So really concentrate on that front heel. You should feel the burning in the quads, glutes, heart rate is going up. Respiratory system is really having to work. We're burning a lot of calories now. Breathe, breathe, breathe. Now as we slow it down into a lunge position, get a 2 count, and then switch. 1, 2, then switch. 1, 2, and then switch. But if at all possible, keeping those hands up above your head. If we need to slow it down even a little bit more, we can do so as well. But even in a static position, you want to keep those hands up. Last 10 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, and time. Good. Should really be feeling it now. Heart rate's up, core temperature's up, body temperature's up, really burning a lot of calories. From there, we're going to go back into a strength type of movement and really working again on the abdominal wall, all the core strength, all the stabilizing muscle group, and that's where all movement is generated from, here and here. So our next movement is what's called a cross crawl plank. Start from the plank position, keeping the elbows directly underneath the shoulders, hips rotated out, hamstrings nice and tight, glutes super tight, and we're going to extend your right arm left leg for a 2 count, and then we're going to switch. Again, keeping the abdominal wall nice and tight the entire time. Extend, switch. Extend, switch. This is a super tough movement, so for those of you who are just starting out, we want to start out with 15 seconds, 20 seconds. For those who are more advanced, we want to get it up to 1 minute to 2 minutes. And let's go ahead and start. Again, keeping the elbow directly underneath the shoulder, abdominal wall nice and tight, keeping the hips rotated up. And please make sure that we're breathing on a regular basis. We're going to hold those poses for a 2 count. 1, 2, and down. 1, 2, and down. Again, let's keep that abdominal wall nice and tight, sucking the abdominal wall, the belly button towards the spine, protecting all of the vertebrae up and down through the lower back, staying tight. Breathe, breathe, breathe. Really tighten those hamstrings as that leg comes up. Get a good squeeze on those hamstrings. This is a full body strength exercise, really isolating on the core area. And we're closing in on our target here. Got about 30 seconds left. Again, you increase towards the latter part of your exercise, we're going to increase your risk of injury. So it's really important to, again, focus on that abdominal wall, stay nice and tight, protect that lower back. 10 seconds. Breathe, stay tight. 5, 4, 3, 2, and time. Good. Our next exercise, we're going to go back to a cardiovascular type of an exercise. So it's really going to work the quadriceps, glutes, a little bit of shoulder. Again, we're focusing on the core, keeping that back nice and tight. We're going to start from a basic squat type position. Heels down, rotating the hips back. We're going to get the shoulders back, chest up into a proper squatting position. Now basically what we're going to do, we're going to take it any size of a step. It could be a bench, it could be a stair, whatever you choose. And it doesn't even have to have anything. You could do this on a flat surface. But what we're going to do, start from the squat position. We're going to hop up. We're going to stop for a split second, hop down. Constantly staying in the squat position. Hop down. Engaging that abdominal wall, nice and tight, using proper technique. Shoulders back, chest up, keeping that pelvic rotated. And good. Again, before we start, concentrate on the form and the technique. Pushing the heels down, hands out front, shoulders back, chest up. And start. Really focusing on the landing. We want to land nice and soft. Keeping those knees bent. Letting the quadriceps, glutes, hamstrings absorb all the pressure. Remember, breathe. Breathe. Relax as much as we can and breathe. Now those of you who are just starting out, you may want to start flat on the floor with maybe 10, 15 bounds. Relax, give it 10, 15 seconds and get back to it. As we progress along and we get more advanced, you can raise the level of step that you're at, increase the speed, increase the duration in which you're doing the exercise. staying tight. Again, we're in that danger zone at this point. If you need to stop to correct your form, stop, correct your form, make sure everything's in perfect alignment, make sure you have your technique down, and progress along. We're almost there, 20 seconds. And breathe, really focus on the abdominal wall, stay tight, protect that spine. Keeping those knees bent at all times. 10 seconds. 3, 2, 1, and time. Good. At this point right now, this is as high as your heart rate should get. We want to give it 30 seconds to a minute to relax, to allow the heart rate to come down just a little bit, not too much. We don't want to wait more than 60 seconds to 90 seconds to starting the next exercise. The speed in which you're doing this exercise program is absolutely vital. Unlike a traditional strength type of an exercise, we really need to focus on the speed in which you're taking between exercises. You want to get a minimum of 30 seconds, but a maximum of a 90-second rest. Otherwise, this program isn't going to work for you. What we're doing, we're combining a resistance program with the cardiovascular program. So basically, we're looking to get the absolute best benefit with the least amount of time. So for those of you who only have a half hour to work out, you don't know whether you should do cardiovascular, you don't know whether you should do some type of resistance training, this is the program for you. Our next program, our next exercise is going to be a 4-point single leg hop. We're going to go 1 minute on each side. Now, for those of you who are just starting out, we aren't going to use the ball, but for those of you who are a little more advanced, we're going to increase the intensity by adding a little bit of resistance. Hands up, one leg. You're going to simulate hopscotch. Again, keeping the abdominal wall nice and tight, working on that core, hips rotated out, shoulders back, chest up, utilizing good posture. We're going to start with a 30-second interval. Well, 30 seconds one direction, 30 seconds the other direction, and then we're going to change feet. We're ready to go. Hands up, engage that abdominal wall, keep this leg bent, and let's start. Now really concentrate on going at your own pace. This isn't a speed type of a movement, but you're definitely going to feel this in all of the areas in the lower body. Halfway there, we got about 15 seconds. Again, keeping that abdominal wall nice and tight. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. With the same leg, we're going to switch directions now. Let's go ahead and switch directions and go. Again, keeping the abdominal wall nice and tight, staying super solid, making sure that foot is planted, and breathe. Should really start to feel this in the left hip flexor, glute, quad. 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Time. We're going to take a few seconds to breathe, relax. Again, focus on your technique. Really concentrate on engaging that abdominal wall, rotating those hips back, and staying solid. Now we're going to go with the other leg. Hands up, making sure you have proper form, and let's go. This movement is best served on a solid surface, such as a hardwood floor, a kitchen floor. If you do it on the carpet or a softer mat like we're doing it now, it's going to increase the intensity by some 15-20%. So I would highly recommend starting on a solid surface. 3, 2, 1. Switch directions. Abs tight. And breathe. 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 Five, 4, 3, 2, time. And really relax. We're in the backbone of our cardiovascular portion of our exercise right now. We want to take as minimal rest as possible and going as long as we possibly can. That basically shows up our cardiovascular portion of it. We're going to go into something that we call a cheerleaders, which is going to top it off. We're going to start from a standing position. We're going to take it down into a push-up position, extend out into a plank, back up into a squat position, and we're going to get a hop. Take it back down, looking up, hands down, extend it out, bring it back in, and we're going to hop. Now we're going to do this movement really, again, focusing on the quads, pushing the hamstrings and the heels down into the mat, really focusing on the cardiovascular as well as the abdominal area. We're going to start with this with 30 seconds, working our way up to 2 to 3 minutes. So again, we're going to start from a neutral position with the shoulders back, chest up, making sure that abdominal wall is tight, protecting that spine, keeping the shoulders, the feet directly underneath the shoulders. And let's go. Nice and tight, and up. Concentrate as we go down into that push-up position and keeping the hands directly underneath the shoulders. Again, engaging that abdominal wall. Breathe. Breathe. As you come up to that point right there, we really want to focus on pushing those heels into the mat, which is going to allow us proper technique in that squat. Shoulders back, chest up, using proper technique. Really concentrating on that posture. "30 seconds left." Again, engage that abdominal wall. Pushing those heels down, using proper technique in that squat, and up. "10 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, and last one. Nice. At this point in our program here, we're going to allow the heart rate to come down just a little bit, not too much. Maybe increase the amount of rest time that we have. We went through 4 or 5 different cardiovascular exercises, which should really get that heart rate going, working all the muscle groups in the body and really concentrating on burning that excess body fat off. Our next exercise is going to be what we call a side star plank. This is based off of a yoga Pilates type of a philosophy. We're on our side. We're going to pop up into a plank, but we're going to increase the intensity by raising the arm and the heel. Again, focusing on the serratus, intercostals, and obliques, keeping that abdominal wall nice and tight, working a lot of the inner thigh muscles, keeping that up. If we need to rest, come down into a rest position and then take it back up. Count as long as you can, 10 seconds, 15 seconds, 20 seconds, take it back up. But eventually you want to stay in that position. Couple points of interest here. Again, the elbow needs to be directly beneath the shoulder. We don't want it outside. We want the least amount of pressure on the joint itself. We really want to focus on the muscle tissue that's supporting the joint and not necessarily the joint itself. Least amount of pressure on a joint is vital. So we're going to start here. First of all, we're going to pop up into the plank position, engaging all of those muscles. Arm up, leg up, and we're just going to hold it. Again, we're going to hold it for as long as you can. Make a mental note of how long that you've held it, so the next time you come to do this exercise program, you're going to work towards getting a little bit stronger and going a little bit longer. And really focus on your breathing, nice deep breathing, while continually engaging that abdominal wall. And breathe. We're going to give it about another 10 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2. Slowly come down into the neutral position and then all the way down. Good. Let's go ahead and switch sides. Again, focusing on that elbow, keeping it directly underneath the shoulder. We're going to pop up into the plank position. Make sure we're stable. And the arm and the leg goes up. Again, breathing, focusing on that abdominal wall. Again, if we need to take a break, we can relax in a neutral position, give it a couple seconds until you feel you can start again, and start back up. 5, 4, 3, 2, take it down and relax. We're going to kick the heart rate back up just a little bit. We're coming to the conclusion of this exercise program. You get a box, step. You can do it without the box, you can do it without the step, you can do it on a flat surface, it doesn't matter. We're going to take some type of resistance. This here is a 2-pound medicine ball. A soda can weighs 2 pounds. Whatever you need to do, resistance is resistance. 2 pounds is 2 pounds. We're going to start with 1 foot on the box. Again, into the squat position, shoulders back, chest up, pelvic rotated out. We're going to step over, pushing the ball out. Step over, pushing the ball out. And breathe. Again, concentrating on the shoulders back, chest up, breathing from the abdominal wall. Nice deep breathing. So engage all the muscle groups in the entire body, really focusing on the lower body as well as the deltoids. This movement we're going to start out 30 seconds again, 40, 50 seconds. Work your way up to 3 minutes. And we're going to start now. Again, pushing that ball out, going at your own pace, making sure we don't step too far over the box, engaging that abdominal wall, staying nice and tight, and breathe. Shoulders back, chest up. Protecting that spine, keeping that abdominal wall nice and tight, pushing forward, pushing forward. Press that ball out there the same way that you would do a regular chest press. You're going to get a lot of chest movement in this type of movement here and not even know it. Push, 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 push. Now again, for those of you who are just starting out, you can do this movement flat on the surface. For those of you that may be a little more advanced, you can turn your step sideways and travel the entire way across the step itself, which is going to increase the intensity. And focus on that breathing. Breathe, breathe. Pushing that ball out, press it out. Abdominal walls nice and tight, and press, press, press. Again, this is the point in the exercise where fatigue starts to play a factor, and as fatigue starts to play a factor, your risk of injury increases. So we really want to focus on keeping that abdominal wall nice and tight, protecting all of the vertebrae and the spine and the lower back. 30 seconds, press that ball out there. Press, press, press. This last 15 seconds is vital. The tail end of every single one of these exercises is where you're really getting the benefit. So put as much focus and energy as you can into the latter part of these exercises. That last 15, 20 seconds is where all your progression is made. 3, 2, and time. Nice, good work. We're going to give it a second, let that heart rate come down a little bit. Focus on your breathing. Nice deep breathing through the nose, out through the mouth, making sure that your heart rate is coming down a little bit. Try not to bend over, try not to lean over a chair. Really focus on just getting that nice deep breathing through your abdominal wall. Our last exercise is really going to focus on the triceps with a little bit of influence into the hip flexor. We're going to take it down into what we call a dip. Again, even in this position, whether it's a seated position, whether it's a standing position, your posture is absolutely vital to the success of your workout program. So we're going to step out, shoulders back, chest up. As opposed to a regular traditional style dip, we're going to raise one leg, push it straight up, push it straight up. You're utilizing nothing but the triceps. We don't want to engage the leg too much. We want to keep it as straight as we possibly can. Just working those tricep muscles. For those of you who are just starting out, both feet on the floor is adequate. But those who are a little more advanced, we want to lift that foot up, which is going to isolate a little bit more on the hip flexor itself. Shoulders back, chest up, lifting the right leg up and down. And exhale. Breathe. Keeping that abdominal wall engaged, shoulders back, chest up. We're going to start with anywhere between 5 to 10 per side, working your way up to 30 seconds to a minute per side. And breathe. Breathe. Four, 3, 2, 1. We're going to switch sides. Again, this is the point in your exercise where fatigue starts to play a major role. You really want to focus on engaging that abdominal wall, taking the pressure on this one off of the shoulder. You should really start to feel that in the hip flexor. Keep that abdominal wall nice and tight. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. And this concludes our cardio weight loss program. If you're looking to get into the fastest shape as fast as you possibly can and you don't have a lot of time to spend, this is the exercise program for you. By combining a cardiovascular exercise program with a resistance exercise program, it is going to speed your results up beyond belief. I'd like to thank Paul Artelles for helping me out with this video. Thank you very much.
If you follow this video over the next 6 weeks, you'll be amazed at your improvements in your athletic ability. You will notice a difference in speed, lateral movement, and leaping ability, not to mention the drastic improvement in your body fat percentage.